Hello and welcome to the Women in Tech video series. My name is Shannon Herman. I am a Senior Recruiting Manager for Alexander Technology Group, and I am also honored to serve on the Board of Directors for the New Hampshire Tech Alliance. One of the most important things we do with the New Hampshire Tech Alliance is highlight and spotlight innovative companies and people throughout New Hampshire. The Women in Tech video series is part of the TechWomen, TechGirls initiative, and we are here today with Cara Gillespie from BAE, who's going to tell us a little bit more about why she does what she does. Welcome, Cara.
Thank you for having me.
Would you like to fill us in a bit on what you do?
Yes, I am an engineering director for one of our product lines in our Electronic Combat Solutions business area here in New Hampshire. And what does that mean? Well, BAE is one of the largest world defense contractors, and we have about 6,500 engineers here, or employees here at BAE in New Hampshire. And I am responsible for bidding, winning, and executing of engineering content for that product line. And right now I have about 200 engineers that support me in that effort every day.
So you're busy.
Very busy, yes, but I love it, and it's a wonderful team.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking some time to chat with us today.
Of course.
As you know, we've prepared a few questions to go over.
Yes.
The first one I have for you is, can you tell us a little bit about a specific project or accomplishment that you're most proud of?
You know, when I think about specific experiences that I'm proud of or have had an impact, I think about some of the first ones I had early on in my career. So I started at BAE in our Space Systems group down in Virginia. And one of the first projects I got to be part of is something called the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO. And we were developing a single board computer with our radiation-hardened technology for this satellite that was going to orbit the moon.
Very
and I
cool.
think it's still orbiting today. I didn't check
You haven't
before this.
checked?
I need to. It has been a few years. But what I loved about that is it really pushed me outside my comfort zone. It encouraged me to kind of rely on my technical competence that I had gained, at college and through all my, different experiences that I had had there. And, it wound up just being really fun. I wound up back at NASA Goddard working with the engineers and getting a chance to kind of showcase what I brought to the table.
That's awesome. When they tell new grads, go shoot for the stars, you literally did.
Yes. My mother did think that I was a rocket scientist after that, and I really had to explain that that wasn't what I was doing. Not quite, but it was a lot of fun, and it's always a fun story to share as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. The next question I have is more about leadership. So as a leader, how do you balance the need for innovation but with risk and maintaining stability?
Innovation, risk, stability. Do they go together? Let's see. So innovation is key to developing advanced technologies. At BAE Systems, we use our Fast Labs business area to develop advanced technologies and then transition them to product lines like myself, where we really work to take that technology, develop architecture and framework that is then deployable, and we can productize and make producible products that our customers need. And with that, my team is innovating every day on how to do that. But with that, there's risk involved, right? And so how do you deal with that? Well, it is part of my job to take on calculated risk, right? To lean forward when we're developing these technologies. And so as we go about that and we work to execute, I think how you build in that balance and stability is really about the program rigor and the engineering rigor that you bring when you're executing developing that new technology. So what do I mean by that? I mean the right plan, the right metrics, the right reviews with the right subject matter experts all lend itself to kind of keeping that stable, balanced portfolio.
Yeah, so still have the innovation, but keep it safe and keep it smart.
Yes, I always say if you have more than 3 new things, that can be people, product, technology, then you better pay close attention. But we always work to find that balance.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you have. You figure out a process. So.
Yes. We have a really, robust process at BAE. And like I said, we have a lot of subject matter experts that we utilize to teach others and junior engineers. And then, like I said, we kind of monitor through the right metrics to help us stay on track and know when we're going off track and how to go support that project.
That's awesome. Thank you. And then lastly is more personal for you. So what resources or support systems have you found most valuable to you in your career?
I feel like I would put that into 3 categories. I would say managers and mentors, key. Having a great manager can really kind of support you in your growth. As I shared my story about the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, my first manager saw strengths in me, and he actually encouraged me to apply to an engineering leadership development program here in New Hampshire. And I got in, and it really opened doors for me, and I'm thankful. And looking back years later on that experience, he lost an engineer that then he had to go rehire shortly after. But it was so key to, the next steps that I took in my career, and I'll always be thankful for that. And, with that mentorship, right, I've had some really wonderful mentors that have helped me, whether it's supporting me in certain opportunities or giving me a different way of looking at things when needed. That's been invaluable. I also think, we talk a lot about mentorship, but we don't talk a lot about allyship. I think it's something we're starting to talk about now. But having the right male allies throughout my career, especially early on, really has been key to my success, right? And I think we've learned through certain studies now too, right? You can go to your manager and say, look at all the great work I'm doing, right? But if Joe goes to your manager and says, have you seen what Cara's done recently? That's helpful. So that has been, I think something that I don't want to minimize, right? Because it's been key too. And then I would say on a personal note, my husband.
Yeah.
So being, the tech series, Women in Tech, having the right support system at home has been key. So my husband is my biggest encourager. Sometimes I have to remind him that has to come with him maybe taking the kids to a park on occasion. But, having his support and encouragement has really been key.
Excellent. Yeah, no, and I think that we don't live in bubbles, right? We need so many people around us to help us be as successful as we want to be. And I think that, identifying those people when you look around, regardless of what stage of your career, that's where the true growth can happen.
Yeah, that's very true.
Excellent. Well, Cara, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you very much for having me.